Bill and Lori, thanks again so much for just taking the time to share a little bit about your story. And as I was kind of getting ready for today, it was fun to go back and reminisce about how we first met, and which actually wasn't
real estate related.
Wasn't real estate.
Right.
Yeah.
We met at a prayer breakfast, I believe, and then later on, we had a real estate need, and you were able to help us with that.
It worked out pretty well, and it was a really incredible house because it was an older home, but had a very modern kitchen, living room addition onto it.
Yeah, it was a unique property in a unique location, and when I say unique, you can substitute challenging, because it was 105 years old. We had remodeled the house in the 20 years that we had lived there extensively. We weren't expecting it to sell as quickly as it sold.
Of course, I was with a different company at that time, but it was 2016.
We first started talking about selling our home. Part of your marketing plan was bringing in a interior designer maybe that suggested some colors, suggested some room rearrangements that we really weren't 100% on board with, but obviously based on the results as quickly as the home sold, it was good advice. And I think you listed in around 1st of June.
Right.
And then maybe the 12th of June, we had a contract on that home. And all of that, the majority of that was due to the advice you gave us. Everything you shared with us came to fruition, and we saw the results of that when we had that contract on that home in 12 days. And again, I'll go back and say it was a unique property in a unique location.
There's always a lot more trust that goes into the process of selling a home and even buying a home than a lot of times what we might think, because here I was coming in and basically rearranging your house and your trust to okay, he must know what he's talking about. And really it was me relying on other professionals and trusting them. Everything was going well, and then I get a phone call that a tire had come off a trailer on the road and run into the house.
Yes. Oh my goodness, that was crazy. And thankfully they fixed it, and we were able to still stay on the market and get it sold.
Right, got it sold.
And we quickly went from selling a home to having to buy a home.
Right.
In a very still at that time it was a very challenging market. I think we entertained 3 different properties, if you recall. Got into kind of bidding wars on all 3, and got down to about 5 days of being homeless technically because of the closing of the house that we were selling, and weren't able to find a house in that short amount of time. And so you and your team assisted us in finding a home to lease for a few months.
Part of finding a home was Lori having some allergies and everything, so finding a home in Rockingham County, not next to a farm,
was very hard in this area.
a little bit harder than you might imagine.
Yes.
But we eventually found this one. And this house actually wasn't even on the market when we found it.
Yes. You certainly did a great job of mitigating the stresses of real estate transactions, but I would think you would say that we were almost a case study in difficult real estate transactions. and you sold our home very quickly. We got in the market very short time frame, needed to find a home, and then the home that we signed the lease on to rent, we ended up purchasing that home.
And you were able to help someone that has special circumstances be able to do it.
Right.
So that was very important.
And then I got the opportunity to work with your family again just last year with your daughter and her husband.
Yes. Paul, you're a trusted advisor to our family, not only to Lori and I, but when our daughter and her husband decided to get in the market and buy their first home, we asked them to at least chat with you, and we appreciate what you guided them through that process. We stood back, as we didn't want to be hover parents, so we stood back, but we knew they were in good hands in your leadership there.
And that's just, to me, that's the best compliment ever, is when someone trusts me with another member of their family, and so I really appreciate that.
You're stuck with us for life, Paul, I hope.
Hey, it's not being stuck, it's a privilege. I wouldn't have it any other way, so thank y'all so much.